Hey guys, how you doing? Going to do a 15 plus 10 with the black pieces now. I did one earlier on and it was over a bit too quickly in the Vienna, so thought we'd do another. Opponent is 1344 from Georgia, and we're going for the Charlik. So I'm actually nearly 200 points higher rated than this guy, and that is an interesting maneuver. Okay, so I'm still tempting him to capture on d6 here. Okay, this is quite common. Guess I can block. Can always move the bishop out of the way. Okay, well, shall we put the question to this bishop? Now thinking I'm more likely to be castling short, which is all good. I actually have two attackers on here. I could have just taken that pawn. But if I take, he takes, I recapture. Okay, so he's moved away. So he's now moved his bishop two times. Right, and that is free pawn. Okay, so I can get my pawn back now. Should I choose? If he takes, I get bishop takes, but the pawn's in the way of my knight and everything, so I'm thinking knight here. Now, if he takes and I take, I've got a central pawn, it's fine. It's all good. And then my bishop has a route out into the board. There we go. And again, the old Charlik trick could still be on with this. But I don't have a bishop on here that can give check, and the pawn's in the way. So what do? We can develop the knight. Makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, I think just preparing to castle. Yeah, if his knight comes out, we're both contesting the same squares in the center. If his knight comes out, I could well pin as well. Right, it's got one attacker. It's undefended right now. Let's use my bishop to defend. Now, I've made it a tall pawn for now, but you never know. Could still get a rook on d8. We may still be able to pull the old Charlik trick. I can also just push. Didn't think of that. Push, and that actually opens up my bishop. I really want to get a rook on here then, don't I? I can play queen here now. Still defends a knight, double defends the pawn. I could even play like rook d8, push this pawn with the idea of the discovery with check winning the queen. It's just such a nice trick to pull. Okay, let's do that. Probably want a castle. This looks good. Just put the bishop here looking down at... Okay. You can't have this pawn. Oh, it's attacking my queen. Okay. So if I take, you can only recapture the queen. Then I can push, I guess, with a pawn. It's a tempo gaining move. Recapture the queen, bishop c6. Actually, he's going to have two attackers on here, isn't he? Is that... No, he's not. He's got two attackers, I've got two defenders. This is fine, okay. Here we go. Right, nice bishop there. Look at these bishops now. Loving it. You can't take there because bishop takes. Also, I'm threatening to move this pawn. Okay. Now, if I do this, it actually exposes this pawn, yeah? But then if there and takes, and I take queen, he recaptures, I save my rook. So let's figure that out. Material is equal, right? Let's say I push, he takes pawn. Okay, we're equal, because I take a pawn back. He's +3, right? Now he's -6. Now he's -5, and I do this. I also have this, actually. or I can just castle and see what happens on the next turn. It's slower, but I like my position. There's no need to try and force it. This pawn push does actually get in the way of my other bishop, but hey. Now I've got this with... Okay. Now, there we go. That's a reason to push e4. And now my opponent has to move his bishop away with tempo. Now this is tempo gaining on him. So what's going to come next is this. King takes, I get queen. So I'm going to get a queen plus a pawn, that's 10, in return for a rook and a bishop, which is 8. And that should be a good position. Doesn't really matter where he goes, I don't think. Because the same thing's still going to happen. So I was looking for a reason to push that pawn forward, and he just served me up a reason with this move. Now he's having a think. So his longest move so far, 23 seconds. He's got 22, 13, 17, 15. He's been playing this like a blitz game. But so have I, but then I know the opening better. Now this is a thought, but then you've just got like g3 and the attack is over. I think he's seen it. And it really doesn't matter where he goes from here, does it? Because that is going to come with check, and then after king takes, queen falls. In fact, I don't even have to do that. I can do that. King takes, right? Queen h4, even. King takes, I win the queen, he recaptures with one of his rooks, then queen h4. Now he's got to put his bishop back there then. Okay, so we take the queen. And some people resign at this point, although they're only like 2 material points down. So here and bishop goes there, but then I can't do that because the rook's going to attack me there. So shall we try and trade rooks off? Got to watch out for these bishops. They are controlling a lot of the board. So he's actually got a bishop and a rook for a queen and a pawn. So it's not by any means a lost cause. Now let's say nothing happens. I do this, he blocks. Then I can put my bishop down there. If rook takes bishop, rook takes rook. And this bishop on here is still pinned. So if he just does something quiet now, I can go in with this. Because the only way he saves the bishop, that's actually queen fork. He has to put the bishop there. And then this does win material. Actually does it. Okay, so I take back. Still got this idea. Okay. Alright, so we have check. There's no back rank risk for 2 reasons. One is he has to get out of check, which means blocking with the bishop. The other is the queen is still looking at d8, so that's okay. Then I guess my king might come across. But we've got to tread fairly carefully here. I've got to move my queen now. Can't block, because that square is attacked twice. So do I attack with check? If bishop blocks, I've actually got this, but then I do get back ranked. But this feels... Oof. The other issue is as well that I'm getting kind of crossfire from these bishops, eh? See, this is also part of the fork. It's a 3-way. So if check now, bishop blocks. This bishop's now out of the game, so I could probably do something like this. Actually, he doesn't even have to block with it, but he could go there because I can't take. Right? Because I get back ranked. Okay, so now here. Yeah. Can't do this because rook just takes it. Okay. I can step back and hit the rook, which is now no longer defended by the bishop, and the bishop also is pinned, so can't move. If this doesn't really matter, I can take with queen or pawn. Nice to have an advanced pawn up on the 6th. Present issue is this. Sometimes I like to remind myself of the idea of my last move in case I forget from move to move, because we are only human. Unlike that bloody cat. What is chess.com thinking? Coming out with a cat? Was it Mittens? Something rated something like 3200. It's an invincible cat. Do we learn stuff by playing invincible cats? I don't know. Okay, the rook really needs to stay on the d file because otherwise I have this. And that actually wins the bishop. Because he can't defend the bishop with the rook. Well, rook here, bishop here. King moves out of way. At least I get to force the trade off. Okay, well, that I think just blunders the rook, does it not? And it's resignation time. Not really getting enough of a challenge today, are we? No, he's just down too much now. 7 pawns. He's down a pawn and a queen for a bishop. There we go. There we go. Interesting. Well, let's do another one. Let's do another one just for giggles. So we get somebody a little bit more. Ooh, 1652. The Reti. Okay, so I'm going to go like this because I'd like to transpose to what I know. Okay, I've actually had this before. I've had this today. Okay, I think d5 is okay. Right, so he's blocked off his dark squared bishop. Very tempting just to develop with a pin. Okay. If I take, he's got queen takes. That's free development. Look, he's doing like the opposite of what I do. This is like a reversed Vienna gambit, isn't it? If I take, he pushes. Fascinating stuff. This is a Queen's Gambit declined Chigorin. There you go. But my knight's here, so I can't push c6. Like Slav style. If I go there, his queen comes out, and then I capture that, but then bishop comes out. If I let him take, I can develop the queen, but that falls to knight c3. Queen here. I think knight out. I think if takes, probably knight takes, it just feels safer. So I'm actually giving up the centre here. This is what I do to other people, in the words of Beth Harmon. Okay, attack there. If he takes, I take, and I'm attacking the pin piece. That's tempting. If he doesn't take, I'm threatening to take. He has to take back the bishop, not queen, because, yeah. Or do we just develop? Am I concerned about him coming in here? Not at all. Okay, I'm going to develop. I'm going to play it safe. Okay, now the purpose of that move is to stop my bishop going to b4. Let's reconsider this. Knight takes doesn't really work. I take, he attacks bishop. I'm okay with that. The other one is bishop here. That could fall to this. And then I can't go there, there, there. That's a problem. So I should probably hold fire, hang fire with that bishop, eh? Let's do this, and then at least, you know, my queen might have ideas about coming out somewhere. Okay, he's developed his bishop. I don't think he's... Is he going to... Oh, he could take. He could take. Now, f5. f5 is an idea. There, bishop takes. So he's got 2 attackers on my knight. It's only defended once, that's the issue. This is a sack, possible sack. King takes. Well, he's got to take with the king because I'm forking rook and queen. There, king takes. I don't know. I mean, trading off knights, not the end of the world. I mean, I've got a really nice knight here, but it is double attacked. So what do we do? The only way out of it I see is f5. And do I want to play f5? Well, he's not castling that way. Go on, let's play f5. It gives me this backwards pawn on e6, though. That's actually playable. He can't take because he loses his queen, yeah? My queen defends anyway. I think that's possible. Really pays just to keep looking for moves. Because the best move very often isn't obvious. The best move very often isn't natural. So I'm threatening this. I mean, he's really got to take back with the knight. Queen can't take back. If pawn takes back, it's very ugly in terms of king safety. Because where's he going to castle? He might kick. I retreat. If he double kicks, I just come back. That's fine. My king can still castle long. That's not an issue. That takes. So what else have we got? This. He's quite a useful defensive knight, this guy. Paired up with that one. I take. Probably his bishop's going to move because his knight has to stay there. If I take bishop takes. I might just have to bring my queen out. How about queen here? Queen here puts 3 attackers on this knight. Opponent is from Sweden. Is there a Swedish opening? Not sure there is. Bet there's got to be some like Helsinki Gambit or something, isn't it? Or Stockholm Gambit. Is there a Helsinki's Finland? Stockholm, don't know. Obviously there's a Danish, old favourite. No answers on a postcard. He's having a think too. I'm now rated 1535, that's not too bad. This is the 4th today, I'm on day 3 of 0 carb. And I'm feeling sharp. Already feeling sharp. Even though the last 2 nights, so 2 nights ago I had a really good night's sleep, slept all the way through like a baby. Last 2 nights I've been tossing and turning, but then it is full moon coming up. But even though, I mean, normally I would feel quite tired at this point. I did go to bed about 8 as well. So I've had a few hours, I don't know. Opponent is now equal on time, 12:29. Yeah, so, I mean, so I've been off coffee now, I think 8 weeks. Previously, I'd have been up at, because I had a call today, a coaching call at 7 a.m. So I woke up at 6:30. Normally, I'd have had a strong coffee at that point, and I'd been bouncing through that call. And then some point between like 12 and 3, I'd go, energy's gone. That is just not happening right now. Okay, why is he having such a big think? I mean, yes, I'm attacking the knights. If he takes, he's just got another pinned knight. I think Queen f6 could be an issue for him. Bishop could come to here, but then I am concerned about c5. But then c5 at least resolves the tension here, so he's lost his opportunity to hit this. So maybe even bishop takes, pawn to c5, bishop back to e7. And we've blocked off the centre there. I get to castle short still. All good. I mean, that is a classic pawn structure. Opponent's pawn structure is still good. He's advanced this one, but that's okay. So I thought for a minute and a half on my previous move. He's thought for about 3 minutes here. What are you planning? Should be using this time better instead of just talking crap. Okay, let's consider the move e5. Knight takes isn't possible. Pawn takes is the only possibility. e5, pawn takes, knight takes. That's a fork. This bishop's undefended and then knight is overwhelmed. So even e5 is a problem here. So we've said queen f6. You see, that move might look unthinkable until you think it, but let's think about this. So there, if he takes, knight takes, and you've got a problem. Right? In fact, no, he's going to have to drop his bishop back here. That's all he does, isn't it? And then he's got 1, 2, 3 defenders. And I've got 1, 2 attackers. So he can take there. And I've got 3 attackers, because my knight's on there, isn't it? But then my knight comes in here. Ooh, hang on. There, bishop takes. My knight comes in there. Is that right? The knight takes. Yes, my knight's on here. Bishop retreats to here. It's how I take with knight. He's not going to recapture with the pawn. It's going to mess up his king safety. So he's going to recapture with the bishop. So his bishop's now on this square. My knight then comes in here with check. And his king's going to have to move. That's the way I look at it. But now he's under 9 minutes. So what's going on? He's gone down from like 14 to 9. So he spent 5 minutes on this move. Is he still there? Hello? So we can return to this position as well. I mean, obviously, I don't know what he's going to play, but this is definitely a thought. This is definitely a thought. And if he doesn't take, bang, he's in a pawn fork. That's the problem. So he's going to have to move his bishop anyway. So let's say I push, he puts his bishop there, I push my pawn to here. He has to move the knight away. But then I've got a really nice pawn on e4. So I'm thinking this looks like Shekshi move. It appears like opponent has deserted the game. So while we're here then, let's do a search for Swedish gambit. Be great. And we've got a Scandinavian defense, the Northern Gambit. What's the Northern Gambit? List of chess gambits on Wikipedia. We've done this. Swedish, nope. Stockholm, no. Okay, Northern And it can't find Northern Gambit either. So what on earth is the Northern Gambit? We'll just keep checking on here. And he's buggered off. Well, that was rubbish. So let's have a quick check on what the Northern Gambit is. Okay. Sweden and Norway flags, isn't it? Oh, it's the Danish. Well, that's boring. So there we go. Anyway, well, was he a good sport? Yeah, he played all right. And white is slightly better here. So let's fantasize about what might have happened. We'll look at the moves that we got. I'm 1546 now. I'm on a roll. He played 92-7. But then he played a funky opening that I didn't. Okay, so book move, obviously book move. E3 book move, bishop g4 is best. Yeah, very often just a good thing pinning this knight. Reason is you freeze the knight. So this knight is playing no part in the game. It's not defending that, it's not defending that, and it can't move, or the queen falls, right? The other thing is you might prompt h3. And that is generally nice. I like that. Even if you stick the bishop all the way back here, this pawn can be a target for a bishop sack later on. Look at this, nothing, no wriggle room at all. Okay, so it's saying e6 there. No, marginal. Knight b d2 inaccurate. C takes best. And here e5. Okay, let's check this out. e5. And we're almost equal because I'm threatening this. Knight can't take because it's guarded, right? So what has to happen? He has to take, the machine's telling me. Then surely I take back with the knight. Yeah. Didn't think that one through, did I? Did not think that one through. So I know I have a tendency sometimes to push a central pawn 1 when I could push 2. And Jose has told me off about this before. Haven't you, Jose? Yes, you have. But this is okay position. Anyway, let's go back to the actual game. I did this, a3. Good move. He probably knows this. He'll have seen this many, many times. In fact, do you know what? Just for giggles, we're going to go over to opening tree. Right? Can't type. Well, I can type, I just have my fingers on the wrong keys. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go to chess.com. We're going to put his username in, and as black, as white, okay, and continuous. So we'll see how many games he's played, and we'll see what he does as white. Oh, analyze games. Yeah, it's a great tool, this, but usability could be improved. Okay, so there we go. We can see the moves. So he plays knight f3. Look, all the time he plays knight f3. And the most common move here is d5 by opponent. I played this though, didn't I? Then he usually plays c4. Huh. But he didn't. He played d4, didn't he, in the game? So if he plays d4, then d5 is... Yeah, I mean, we're talking about 6 games out of 9. And then e3, which is what he played, because I remember remarking that he blocked this off. I probably did play bishop g4. Yeah. There you go. So it's not got this... it's not got our game that we just... Oh, it's gone again. Yeah, so that's what he plays. But I think it's a good learning point here, right? If you are an e4, e5 player like me, and your opponent plays the reti, then just do that. Right? Because you can play e5 if he plays this. And we could find ourselves in lots of... so this is the Black Mustang defense of the reti. Anyway, all interesting stuff, but you know what? I'll happily take the points. Thank you very much. Oh, we were good. We were looking at the... hang on. Right. So we got to... We'll get to the position where we were in the actual game. So the computer disapproves of bringing the knight in at this point. But I don't mind it. It's saying bishop e7 was better. but only by 0.4 of a pawn. So if it's less than 0.5, okay, bishop d3 is okay. Queen b3 was better. Queen to here attacking the b7 pawn. And that's actually a mistake. It says I should have traded knights. But I liked this idea. This is not the game we... No, it's gone off into a line. Knight to g5 was the last move. Okay. So queen b3 would have been best. Then I put my rook here. Okay. So if, let's say queen b3, for example, and I go e5 here, because that was an idea. It's saying it's a terrible blunder. Oh, because it's no longer pinned, that's why. Okay. So let's now say, for example, he did something like that. Okay, it's going to say it's not good. Okay. And then it's saying the best move is DC here, probably. But now e5. What does the computer say about this move? So even though we didn't get there in the game, okay, so it's saying, oh, c takes d5. Or queen b3 again now. But queen b3, can't I just do this? Oh no, because he gets out of it with takes, I recapture, bishop escapes. Yeah. Anyway. All good stuff. Oh, he's got e4. Didn't think about that one. Oh no, I play e4. I play e4 here. Okay. C takes d5, attacking my knight in turn. So yeah, definitely an interesting position. But yeah, so sorry about that, guys. Two not particularly exciting games, but that's what happens. But yeah, we've had a quick look at opening tree again, and I think, you know, I think this idea is important. You know, if you get faced with an opening you don't recognise, well, think about what you do recognise and see if you can piece your way back to that. Otherwise, you have to fall back on opening principles, which are far more important than opening theory. Okay, and that'll do for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.